General Zumir stood in the center of the Empire's command center, appearing casually disinterested as the latest reports trickled in. Humans had been spotted near one of their outer territories, and a minor invasion was underway. The Galactic Empire, known for obliterating every species they encountered, viewed these newcomers with contempt. Zumir sneered at the audacity of the humans, half amused. "They think they can challenge us when they can barely navigate the stars," he muttered, prompting laughter from those around him. The Empire had ruled for ages, unmatched in military power, conquering planets with ease. Humanity, based on the Empire's observations, seemed to be just another primitive species that would either bow or be eliminated. Turning to his officers, Zumir asked lazily, "How many ships have we detected?" "Approximately a dozen," General replied the commander, his voice tinged with unease. "Small and lightly armed by our standards." Zumir laughed scornfully. Lightly armed? Pathetic. They dare to face the Empire with such a pitiful fleet. "Deploy the 11th Fleet, it won't even take an hour," he scoffed. The commander hesitated. "General, there have been strange reports about human tactics." Zumir raised an eyebrow. "What strategies could they possibly have that we can't counter in minutes?" The commander's voice lowered. "The last time we sent a trial fleet, the humans didn't fight as we anticipated. They didn't just lose ... they were annihilated." Zumir waved him off dismissively. "That fleet was weak. Mobilize the 11th Fleet now. This isn't worth my time." As the 11th Fleet arrived, the Empire's most advanced ships moved into position, their confidence unwavering. Targeting the lead human craft, an enormous energy beam surged across space. Yet, something unusual happened. The human ships didn't follow standard combat tactics. Instead, they scattered unpredictably, their movements chaotic. The Imperial fleet, accustomed to orderly battles or panicked retreats, was momentarily thrown off. "They're not firing back," an officer muttered, puzzled. The humans weren't retreating, they were maneuvering. Before the Empire could adapt, the human ships struck with surgical precision, targeting weak points on the Imperial vessels. Energy beams disabled critical systems, leaving ships immobilized. The humans weren't attempting to prolong the war, they were dismantling the Empire's fleet, piece by piece. "We're losing ships," sir, an officer cried, panic evident. The humans moved swiftly, exploiting every vulnerability. Reports of the chaos reached Zumir faster than he could respond. "The 11th Fleet is ... gone," a commander stammered, his voice trembling. "They're dismantling us, General, targeting systems instead of engaging directly." A chill ran down Zumir's spine. This was unlike any enemy they'd encountered. It wasn't just superior technology, the humans were executing a cold, calculated dismantling of the Empire's forces. "Send reinforcements." "Crush them," Zumir barked, but even as reinforcements arrived, the pattern repeated. The humans moved erratically, exploiting every weakness and dismantling reinforcements before they could regroup. It was as if the humans had anticipated every move, leading the Empire into a well-laid trap. "General, the humans ... they've predicted everything," an officer whispered, dread in his tone. Zumir clenched his fists as red markers on the tactical display disappeared one by one. He had underestimated them. The Empire had underestimated them. "Prepare the defenses," Zumir ordered sharply. "If they come for us, we'll be ready," but deep down, he knew the truth: the humans weren't coming to fight. They were coming to destroy. The crew worked frantically, their faces pale, their fear palpable. They had never seen Zumir, always commanding and assured, backed into a corner. The Empire had always set the rules of engagement, but today the humans dictated the terms. "They fight unlike anyone we faced before," Zumir murmured to himself. "They fight to obliterate, not just to win. They leave no survivors, allow no retreat, and offer no chance to regroup." The battle ended in devastation, and Zumir understood that losing here wouldn't be just another defeat, it would mark the Empire's end. Tightening his grip on his command chair, he braced himself. Be ready for impact. Shields up. "We're under fire," barked an officer, but the onslaught of human attacks was unlike anything they had expected. Every strike was precise, aimed at critical systems and exploiting weaknesses the Empire had scarcely considered. The ship shuddered as the humans targeted key systems, leaving the Imperial vessel vulnerable. "Shields are down to 30%, another officer reported, panic evident in his tone. Zumir clenched his jaw. "Don't let them think we're surrendering. Keep firing." The Imperial fleet retaliated, but it was a futile effort. The human ships were too quick, too erratic. They avoided prolonged engagements, hitting hard before vanishing and reappearing from unpredictable angles. Each attack exploited blind spots the Empire didn't even know existed. "How are they doing this?" an officer muttered, his hands shaking as he stared at his console. "It's like they know everything about us." Zumir felt a sinking dread in his stomach. He realized what was happening. The humans had studied them perhaps for years, maybe even decades. They had learned the Empire's strategies, dissected its tactics, and were now dismantling it with surgical precision. "This isn't just a battle," Zumir whispered under his breath. "It's a calculated campaign of annihilation." "Sir, we've lost another cruiser," another officer called out. "They're targeting our capital ships, taking them out one by one." Zumir tightened his fists, understanding the horrifying truth. The humans weren't destroying ships at random. They were systematically eliminating the Empire's most powerful assets, ensuring no chance for retaliation or recovery. "General," said the communications officer, his voice trembling, "the humans are hailing us." Zumir hesitated. Humans had never attempted communication before. They had always struck with cold, methodical efficiency, leaving nothing behind. His voice was tense as he gave the order, "Put them through." The screen lit up, revealing a human face. To Zumir's surprise, there was no malice or arrogance in their expression, just a chilling calmness. The human gazed back at him, composed and resolute, devoid of any sign of rage or fear. "General Zumir of the Imperial fleet," the human began, their voice icy and unyielding. Zumir straightened his posture, forcing himself to maintain an air of dignity. "You fought well," the human continued, "but surrender now, and some of you may survive. This is your only chance to capitulate." Zumir's pride roared in defiance. The Empire had never surrendered and wouldn't start now. "We do not bow," he snarled. "We are the Empire. We neither bend nor break." The human tilted their head slightly, unfazed. "General, your empire is already in ruins. You simply haven't realized it yet. We aren't here to fight you. We're here to end you." A chill ran down Zumir's spine. This wasn't a boast, it was a statement of fact. The screen went dark, leaving the command deck in suffocating silence. The officers stood frozen, their wide, fearful eyes fixed on Zumir, silently pleading for guidance. Zumir swallowed hard and steadied his voice. "If this is the end, we'll make them earn it. Fire everything we have." The Imperial ships unleashed a desperate barrage of missiles and energy blasts, but the humans anticipated every move. They weaved through the chaos with precision, their counterattacks devastatingly efficient. One by one, the Empire's ships fell, reduced to wreckage drifting in the void. "General, they've breached our front defenses. They're coming for us," an officer cried out. Zumir nodded grimly. "They're not just destroying us, they're erasing us. Our fleet, our legacy, our entire existence." The command ship groaned under the strain of direct hits. Systems failed one by one, and the lights flickered ominously. Zumir gripped his chair tightly, a resigned determination in his eyes. "This is the end," he murmured, "the end of the Empire." As the command ship collapsed in on itself, its destruction marked the fall of the most powerful armada the galaxy had ever known. In his final moments, Zumir clung to his pride. He would die with his ship, as every commander in the Empire had vowed to do. The explosion lit up the battlefield, signaling the collapse of the Empire. In the aftermath, silence hung heavy over the wreckage. Humanity had risen, replacing the once mighty Empire as the dominant force in the galaxy. The humans had swept through the stars like an unstoppable storm, leaving only ashes in their wake.